Play Airlines was founded in 2019 with aims to compete in the low-cost airline and Icelandic aviation industries. Play Airlines was developed by the former owners of the late WOW Air. So you join me here at Keflavik Airport, some 30 miles from the capital city Reykjavik in Iceland, where I'll be flying with Play on board their new Airbus A321NEO over to Amsterdam. Let's see how they compare to their low-cost rivals EasyJet and Ryanair, and of course Icelandic. So welcome to Bradley Penny Aviation. Welcome to a very snowy Keflavik Airport. If you're flying through during the winter period like I was, please do organise your airport transfer in advance. The check-in area here is relatively spacious with clear signage, and of course the play desks are not difficult to miss. However, today we checked in online, so we headed straight through security. I have to of course mention the airport's fantastic design. It looks amazing. After a very swift security experience, we've made it to the departures area. The departures area is a vast space with a variety of shopping available to departing passengers. However, you'll notice the backlash of the pandemic with a few shops having to close, therefore the selection was a little more limited. The terminal also offers a selection of eateries and even a mini Icelandic market, which of course we took full advantage of. It is such a great addition to the airport. And if you're in need of some warm clothing or some Icelandic memorabilia, the airport of course has you covered. So then, airside here at Keflavik Airport. It's a decent airport with a good selection of shops and restaurants available to passengers. However, in some areas there were some quite low ceilings which really darken the terminal. And also what I will say is that the terminal did lack seating, particularly around the gate areas. Quite a few people did find themselves sitting on the floor. Let's take a quick look at some of the apron views. I am very excited for today's flight as I'm intrigued by the new airline, and of course will be my first time on board the Airbus A321NEO. They've just announced our gate though, so let's head on board our flight to Amsterdam. As I mentioned previously, the gate areas don't really offer a whole lot of seating to passengers. When busy, especially during the boarding process, do expect a lot of commotion. Of course, do not leave it too late before heading there. Our flight today wasn't particularly busy, so we boarded fairly quickly. As we commence our taxi to runway 1 here at Keflavik, I'd just like to mention a fellow creator that I'm a big fan of, Joel from Travelino blog. He has some great content and I'd highly recommend you go and check out some of his videos. There'll be a link on the screen now and in the description below. But don't go away quite yet as it's just in time for takeoff. As we climb out of snowy Keflavik, let's learn a little more about the new Icelandic airline. PLAY Airlines were founded in 2019, joining the low-cost airline battle in late 2020. They fly to over 30 destinations across Europe and the USA, using Keflavik as their main base. PLAY's fleet is currently at 6 aircraft, consisting of the Airbus A320NEO and the much larger Airbus A321NEO variant, which are on board today. So what can you expect on board PLAY, and how do they compare to their low-cost rivals? Let's go and take a look on board. We have now reached our cruising altitude of 39,000 feet, where the sun is just about breaking over the horizon. But for now, let's check out the PLAY Airlines Airbus A321NEO. PLAY's cabin is laid out in a standard 6 abreast configuration with 3 seats either side of the aisle. You'll notice on the overhead locker area there's some in-flight entertainment, which at the time was showing a route map. As today's aircraft was so empty and around 30% full, I was able to walk around the aircraft and sit wherever I liked really. I was able to explore the different views offered by the A321NEO. Let's go and take a look at a few of them now. It's time for a bit of a loo review, thanks for the idea, Noel Phillips. On board you'll find the aircraft has very small toilets, by no means are they spacious. It's of course had the necessities including a sink, a toilet, and of course a baby changing table, which is helpful for some of those on longer journeys. The PLAY A321NEO has a surprisingly modern design with a fresh grey interior and moonlights. I say surprising as it isn't the vibrant red I was expecting. But what's it like for the passenger on board? Let's go and take a look at the seat area. Welcome to the seat area on board the PLAY A321NEO. At the top of the seat you'll find some safety guidance information. Below that you'll find of course a tray table which offers for ample space for a meal or a drink. Of course it has a cup holder in case you encounter any turbulence. The tray table is also adjustable for smaller passengers or children. Below you'll find a seat pocket containing a safety card and the in-flight magazine. Below you'll notice PLAY offer more than enough legroom on board. I'm around 6 foot tall and I had plenty of space to stretch out on this flight. Having this much legroom in economy on a low-cost airline is a big deal. Maybe a few other airlines can take note of this. In the overhead panel you'll find the in-flight entertainment system, which on today's flight was showing the route map. You'll also find an individual air vent and a reading light. I'm actually very impressed by the amount of space available on board PLAY. The legroom is 34 inches. In fact, PLAY actually offer more space on board than British Airways. Be sure to follow me on my social media platforms to keep up to date with my travels. We have now commenced our descent down into Amsterdam. The pilots have said it's pretty stormy down there, so expect some winds from Storm Franklin upon arrival. Be sure to stick around till the end of the review for my final thoughts on today's trip, but for now, enjoy the landing. We had landed on the Polderbahn runway, which means at least a 15-minute taxi over to the main terminal building. After a very swift disembarkation process, we made it through into Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Schiphol Airport is one of the biggest in the world, serving over 25 million passengers annually. There's clear signage down to the baggage reclaim area, and once we were through, we made it to Amsterdam. So then, welcome to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport after that flight to play. This is the part of the video where I share with you some of my final thoughts on today's trip. Kicking things off then, up in Keflavik is a decent airport with a range of shops and restaurants. However, the gate areas had very low ceilings which really darkened the terminal, and as well, lots of passengers found themselves sitting on the floor due to the lack of seating. Moving forward then with the flight with play, it was fantastic. They actually have 34 inches of legroom with their seats, which actually competes with British Airways. The crew were also brilliant on today's flight. They're very engaging and attentive throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this review. If you happen to enjoy it, or if you learnt something from it, please be sure to leave a like, comment what you thought of it down below, and of course subscribe to the channel for future content just like this. That's all from me today. Take care of yourself and stay safe.